What's going on YouTube? Cloverbells here, back with another Scarlet Violet video, and today we're showcasing some Regulation G content on the channel, and it is our Lunala Ursaluna rental here. So I mentioned in an earlier community post that I wanted to finish off our Regulation G content before I fully commit into our Reg I stuff here. Now, we've already been putting out Regulation I team building videos and analysis stuff there, so feel free to check that out if you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with Regulation I, but I still want to put a nice little bow and wrap up our Reg G stuff here. And what better way to do that than to use our Lunala rental? And I chose this one specifically just because, you know, Lunala is looking really good in Regulation I already here. So why not end Regulation G with our Lunala squad here? So it's a single restricted format, of course, as you guys know, and Lunala is the focus here. So sometimes Lunala can struggle in trying to be both supportive and offensive here. You know, you can't fit wide guard, and you know, you only get 4 move slots here. So the way we built this one is just to be a little bit more offensive with expanding force pressure with the Indeedee and the Whimsicott here. So this way we can outspeed threats and then just go for big damage, right? Then we have Torkoal and Ursaluna. These two Pokemon can be the restricted, you know, in games that where like Lunala can't really do a whole lot of damage. So, you know, if you could just lead Indeedee, Lunala, go for Trick Room, they kill the Indeedee, you can bring in Torkoal and tear it, go for Eruption, melt things, and Torkoal can pretty much function as the sweeper from there, right? Ursaluna, more or less the same thing. So, you know, it can also be that kind of sweeper where you can always just pivot it in the turn you set up Trick Room and then potentially sweep under it. But Double Luna is looking also really nice in Regulation I here. So then to close it out, we have the Urshifu Single Strike here. This is also pretty good under Tailwind. And it can do a lot of damage into the Calyrex Shadow Rider teams as well as the Ice Rider teams, just because your Dark type Wicked Blow does big damage into both of those mons here. The Whimsicott, you know, supportive in the speed control that it can offer with Tailwind. You also have Light Screen and Encore, which is our very, very good moves. Just have to be careful about clicking Encore in second terrain. But other than that, it's a really, really good support mon along with the Indeedee here, because we have a lot of offensive pressure, you know, coming with the Urshifu, Torkoal, and the Ursaluna over here. All right, so that's our Lunala squad. So hopefully we can get some cool wins with our team here. So without wasting further time, let's just go straight into the ranked battles. Okay, they also have a Trick Room idea. They have some mons here. They've got a Hitmontop. They have Galarian Articuno. I've not seen that thing in months. Let's see. Well, they've got Pelipper and Arkeladon, so my Ursh could. Well, I have the Torkoal, so I actually just want to bring that here, just to win the Weather War later on. So honestly, what I want to do, because I could just lead this. If they lead the Articuno, I'm just gonna click the Meteor Beam button, and yeah, click Trick Room. All right, the occasional Expanding Force. I don't really. They do have a Hitmontop for like wide guard purposes, but I don't think that's like a huge deal in all honesty. I could even just lead a fast mode here, but I think just having like Torkoal and Ursaluna is also pretty good. I actually like just this Urshifu. To be honest, like this Urshifu actually just hits everything that's not named like Pelipper or whatnot. Like it hits a lot of his big hitters. So I could even just do this and just clean up in the end game and just leave this Ursaluna behind. Yes, and you know, I have a Sash there, so I can always do something with that later on when the Trick Room stuff is expired. So I do expect Hitmontop to come out here, but you know, we can nuke things. It could be Hitmontop Articuno as a lead. I don't think that would be a lead. But yeah, if your Articuno comes out, we're clicking Meteor Beam. And we'll see what happens from there. He could even just flip the Trick Room if he has his own Articuno, right? Let's see, what is this? Okay, it's actually just straight Pelipper Arkeladon, which is honestly fine by me. Now, there is the chance of Wide Guard on that Pelipper. So I will make note of that. And honestly, the Indeedee can just go for Trick Room here. Right? And then we get to find out if this Pelipper is in fact Sash, or if the Hitmontop is actually Sash himself, right? So we're gonna click Meteor Beam here. Okay, I don't think the Lunala is going down anytime soon, and I will just go for the Trick Room button right now, and we'll see what happens. Okay, let's see if Wide Guard comes out here. All right, this is how you're gonna get around Wide Guard, by just going for the single target move here. But yeah. So the other option is they could even just tear the Pelipper, live first, and then do something with a double up ideally. But Yeah. All right. So they don't. So we're just gonna go straight for medium. So there was no wide guard coming out. So very interesting. Could have just clicked that and did tons of damage here. Okay. All right, and we do outspeed that Pelipper. So now we can see if this is Sash or not. And there is a Sash. Well then, it's probably Eject Button Hitmontop then. Okay, but now the question is, what are you doing with this? All right, it is a Weather Ball going into the Indeedee here. That's fine. That did a lot of damage. All right, oh, and it is Snarl. Oh, that's bad. Well, the Indeedee, I would have loved the Torkoal to go down there, actually. Okay. All right, and he does go for Trick Room there. So, a couple things I noticed is that I outspent everything. You know, believe it or not, I outspent everything. So this is actually helping him. He broke my Shadow Shield. I could click Expanding Force, but yeah, I want to see what he does here. I could also just click Moongeist Beam and just be done with it, not hit that Arcaladon slot there, and then just go for Helping Hand now and try and get the Torkoal in here. I'm sorry, Follow Me is what I meant. Okay. So here's Follow Me. Again, if he snarls again, he snarls again. It's not a huge deal. Alright, there is a Snarl. It's okay. Now my Lunala is quote-unquote -1 here. Now, it's very interesting. The fact that this thing is actually really, really slow. I expected that arc to be super fast here, but it is not. Okay. So, there's that interaction. Okay. But now we get a Torkoal in here. We get a Urshifu. So I could have just clicked the, you know, Expanding Force and just be done there. But he has Snarlark. Okay. Alright. Now we get to see a couple things here. We're gonna have to go Terrifier, ideally. Yeah, just click the Weather Ball play over here. Just hope that works. I could also just taunt this thing. Alright, so you have Weather Ball. You got to have Wide Guard, right? And then just click a Wicked Blow over here. Pelipper Arc Lead there. Alright, he's gonna swap. So I could have also just clicked Eruption. Alright. But this is also fine because, again, I did block into a Weather Ball here. So there's the Hitmontop. You get to punch this thing. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we do have a Terrifier Torkoal here. Yeah, I don't know how much damage this is going to do, but we'll see. Alright, so we do get off a pretty hard-hitting Weather Ball. Okay, again, we are under Trick Room here, so... Alright, that's pretty good damage. Okay, and now we get to click a Wicked Blow into the Hitmontop. Okay. So ideally, this is probably Eject Button if the Sash was on the Pelipper there, right? But imagine. Okay. Okay, it doesn't look like it is. Alright, well, that's very interesting. But here comes a Pelipper. Which, again, is not the end of the... Oh, it's actually just Calyrex. So... You can't click Fake Out. I can double this slot. But yeah. So where's your... You have a Pelipper in the back, so... What do you swap? You swap the Hitmontop? Ideally, right? So we'll just click Weather Ball over here. Again, you're going to bring in your Pelipper. I'm going to click this. Right? Just because you need to Terra. Okay, and you actually stay in, funny enough. Is this Terrifier? Has to be. There's no way you're not resisting this. Okay, it's what? No. What is this? I'm very confused here. Okay, he clicked Fake Out and Psychic Terrain. Alright, I don't know what this is. Alright, my opponent was playing really well. Okay. He had the fast speed interactions. Alright, or rather, I should say the slow speed interactions. And I let the Lunala die here. He never clicked Wide Guard. Did not switch. Alright, but here we go, another Wicked Blow here. Alright, so now it's just a Pelipper. Okay, is this just a close combat here? Is this what we're doing? What are we doing with this Hitmontop here? Alright, there's a Citrus Berry. He already clicked Fake Out, so there's no attack there. Okay. And now here comes a Pelipper. Okay. And, you know, Psychic Terrain is almost done, right? So all we have to really do is just click quick, you know, Sucker Punch into that slot. How many turns? Just one turn, right? So, you know, I could just click Weather Ball again into this slot. It might kill. And then I can just protect Ursh, ideally. Right? Just to keep my Sash intact. And then next turn, when Trick Room is gone, finish off the Pelipper. I think that's the idea here. But yeah, this is okay from what I'm looking at here. He could just also outspeed. But I also just want to attack here. Right? Just because it make it a 2-on-1 idea. Yeah, I'll just attack. I don't think it's a huge deal here. So he goes for Feint here. I don't know what he was doing there. There's Psychic Terrain yet again. It looks like my opponent doesn't understand what Psychic Terrain does. Alright, which is weird because, you know, we are pretty up there in Master Ball. Okay, it's not like we're, you know, in Great Ball tier here. So very interesting. Alright, here's his own Weather Ball. Alright, well that doesn't matter. Alright, there's my Sash. Hello. Okay, so we played the Lunala lead poorly just because of the speed interactions of our opponent. But Torkoal is busted. Okay, this Calyrex was Terra Ice. Okay, so there was that. Did not swap in Pelipper for that. You know, could have had reduced Weather Ball damage. And I think it honestly just lives. But that was not the play. Like, even with the double up there, right? Terra Water, Weather Ball, and then just a Wicked Blow. I think the Calyrex just lives that. So, yeah, very interesting there. Okay, we got a very weird Zacian team. There is King Gambit. There's Umbreon. That's not great. That thing has Snarl. That's not going to be good for Lunala later. We do have a Whimsicott, which is pretty good. Maybe. Got Moonblast. There is Encore there. Gambit is a problem, but we do have a Torkoal and an Ursaluna. Okay. How do I want to do this? I would love to Meteor Beam. The problem is if there's like Snarl stuff, but it's not like the worst thing in the world. I think we can just do, we can still do like Indeedee stuff here, right? And then just click Trick Room ideally. If we click Snarl, then we can switch out. And then bring in Ursaluna here. And then bring in Torkoal, right? I think this is just like our best mode here. We don't necessarily need the fast mode. Again, he does have a Gambit. So if I can just remove that idea for clicking Sucker Punch and whatnot, then that would be good. You have a Torkoal and Ursaluna that can pressure. Why, you know, and we'll clean up in the end game with like Zacian stuff. We'll see. But we have to be aware of Snarl. This is why, like, I may just switch out the Lunala immediately and go into Ursaluna and just Trick Room on the Indeedee. It's going to go with Entei and the other guy. Okay, that's fine. I think I would love to Meteor Beam right now, just because. Right, so I can Meteor Beam this Entei and let Indeedee go down potentially. But then afterwards, if the Indeedee goes down, then what's, you know, doing what we have to do. So I think I just have to literally click Trick Room first. They may not even go for the Indeedee here. But I think this is just like our best bet. So yeah, let's just go Trick Room first. Let's just click Follow Me. And then Torkoal can come in later. Oh, Entei actually just protects. Alright, that's actually good for us, unless he thought I was going to go for Meteor Beam immediately. So this is very good. If he kills the Indeedee, sure. Let's see. Okay, there is a Kowtow Cleave. That should kill. Oh, it actually lives. Okay, good. You know, we have good EVs. Alright, and now we get up our Trick Room, which is nice. Yeah. Okay. Now we can start clicking Meteor Beam into this slot here. And I can also click follow me again, just because. And maybe even get up the Torkoal. I can click follow me. If he goes for the Lunala now, that's not great, of course, but then it would mean a free switch into my Ursaluna to try and start sweeping things. So I kind of want to put pressure on that Gambit next turn, you know, and keep the Indeedee later just in case he has Rillaboom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Meteor Beam here first, right? And then switch out into Ursaluna. So this way next turn I can pressure that Gambit. I know Gambit can at least take one Kowtow Cleave here. This is just for the Rillaboom swap, just in case he does have it. Okay, doesn't want his Entei to die, per se. Okay, it's actually going to stay in. Alright, well, I'll take a free Entei kill. Okay. Alright, so here's our Terra Grass. Now he knows. And click Sucker. Okay, all we have to do is just make sure we... Yeah, he went for the Kowtow Cleave onto the Lunala. That's fine. He breaks Shadow Shield, that's okay. Alright, we just have to hit this Meteor Beam on this Entei slot. Okay. Now, we just hope it's not AV. But it's not. He protected, right? So this should just kill. As long as we hit it, which we do. So this should kill. I don't know an Entei that actually lives this. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, so we get to remove Entei. Ursaluna gets a free swap, basically. Our Indeedee is safe for now. We can click Expanding Force, and we can click High Horsepower. You know, the Earth move into that King Gambit slot. There is Gengar there. Ideally, that's probably Sash. So what I want to do is actually click Earthquake. Gambit might die, and then I just Moongeist Beam this. Because, you know, if I Headlong Rush the Gambit, if I do the other thing into Gengar and it's Sash, that's not great. So I want to kill two birds for one stone here. So I'm going to click Moongeist Beam over here and just click Earthquake right here. And I'll hit my Lunala, but I don't really care. I think this is like still pretty good value that I can get out of this. Okay. Alright, so we're going to click Earthquake. It should hit the Gengar pretty hard. The Gambit actually just drops anyway. That's good news for me. And we just remove the Gengar, which is great. See, there's the Sash, right? These guys are always Sash. They want to do like Icy Wind stuff. Okay. So this is where you get some good value with Ursaluna here, and now we just click Moongeist Beam. Now we just win, honestly. You know, if it's Zacian in the back, he can't really do anything 4-on-1. You know, he's not that kind of restricted. You know, he doesn't have that dog in him. Pun intended. This is not Dynamax Sword and Shield era. Okay? And now the double Luna is just supposed to finish everything off. Yeah, see, there's the Zacian. But, you know, there's not really much you can do here at this point. I could even click Expanding Force, if anything, but yeah. Now we just do this. Moongeist Beam and Headlong Rush, and yeah, we should be fine here. I think they just surrendered the battle. Yep. Excellent. Alright, good job, Ursaluna. Right, so you gotta love the double Luna combo. Okay, that was almost standard Miraidon, but there is a Pelipper now. Yeah. We have a Pelipper here. Okay, I feel like removing the Urshifu for a Pelipper is quite a change. Guess they really wanted White Guard. Okay. I mean, I'm still incentivized to bring Torkoal here. Expanding Force is still a play. They can always repivot. The Indeedee has damage. Like Indeedee Ursh looks like a play here. And just hit things. But so does like Whimsicott. Well, how do I want to play this? I'd love to click Meteor Beam. And then Expanding Force later, so... I would like to just do this first. Okay. Then bring this thing. It's gonna be close. Like, I want to bring Ursaluna. I'm not gonna lie, but there is a Pelipper. Like, why is there a Pelipper on this team? Why? Okay. I would love to like just bait the Volt Switch. That'd be like kind of funny when you think about it. Just bait that Volt Switch and then just go ham. Save like Whimsicott stuff later. All right, Miraidon. Oh my god, what is this? So there's a Miraidon Pelipper here. Okay. You know, light screen looking pretty good. I just want to say that. Light screen looks really good here. All right, Drizzle. So the cool news is that I'm faster than him. And I have light screen, so I could just go like straight Meteor Beam here and just knock this thing out, you know, and resist the damage from like Electro Drift. Okay, and just straight up click light screen just because. Could click Tailwind. I don't think I need to, but if you go, do you kill the Whimsicott? I don't think so. I think I still go for the light screen play. All right, I'm gonna go for this play. Okay, you can go for your little Electro Drift if you want. You should be able to still resist. And then next turn, I can click Expanding Force, and then Miraidon's not going to have a good time with that. Okay, we outspeed Pelipper, I know that for sure. So there's the light screen. Miraidon's going to click his move. Okay, he's going to click stuff. There's the Electro Drift. Oh, he actually is just going to straight nuke me. Alright, which I will take. That's fine. Okay, we got to click the nuke. Alright, we survived the nuke. He chipped, he broke my Shadow Shield. We outspeed Pelipper. This should kill the Pelipper unless you are Sash. If you're Sash, I cry. Alright, here is the Meteor Beam. But let's see. They're always Sash, right? They are always Sash. Okay, here we go. Now what are we clicking? Alright, it is just a raw Hurricane into the Whimsicott here. Okay, but we do live because, yeah. Alright, now we make an interesting play. Okay, we can still click Expanding Force. Okay, if he clicks Y-Guard, he clicks Y-Guard. But I'm going to bring in the Indeedee now. Let's see. Do you have it? I could have also clicked Tailwind here, but this is still alright. Okay, he's going to swap out the Miraidon there. Alright, so I don't know if you have Y-Guard here. Maybe you're anticipating the Y-Guard, and now you clicked it on the Pelipper, right? So, which is fine, because next turn I can just kill the Pelipper. Alright, so swap out Whims. Okay, and go into Indeedee. Okay, change terrain. Now, do you have Y-Guard on your Pelipper? Best of one? Let's see it. There goes your Quark Drive. Alright, nope. Oh, well, that's a free kill. Sorry. Alright, you had your chance. You had your chance. Okay, so now we killed the Iron Hands and the Pelipper. Okay, we have Indeedee. Okay, which could click Trick Room any second now, of course. And that's exactly what we'll do. Right? And there is a Furgraph. Actually, we don't even have to. We can just keep clicking Expanding Force stuff. There is Miraidon here. We can just click, honestly, just, you know. I can click Trick Room. There's the Furgraph here. We have the Ursaluna, which is good news for us. He has not committed the Terra yet. I can click Trick Room. I can start chipping away with Moongeist Beam. I am +1. It should do more than 50%. And yeah, like if he clicks Trick Room, he clicks Trick Room. It's gonna do a lot of damage. I'm gonna be honest. But we do have Light Screen up. I don't expect Miraidon to kill anything. We could preserve the Indeedee now and just, you know, still click Trick Room. He could click Foul Play. I want to just do this and just kind of force him to do it, right? Let's see if you flip my Trick Room here. It's gonna Terra. Okay, you have the Furgraph, but do you actually click Trick Room? Yeah, I can Facade this thing now. Ideally. Okay, follow me. Again, my thought process was I could just nuke your Miraidon. You are specs. Just wither you down. There's the Dazzling Gleam. This shouldn't do a whole lot. We do have a light screen here. Oh, that did way too much damage, actually. Alright, okay, yeah. See, there's just straight Foul Play. This is fine. Alright, and there's the Rocky Helmet chip. Okay, we click Trick Room, which is good. Alright, and now we have one play and one play only. We click Moongeist Beam over here, and we click Helping Hand over here. And this is basically a +2 here, right? So here we go, Helping Hand, and then Ursaluna can do whatever it wants later, I think. Okay, here is the Moongeist Beam. I mean, you are a Miraidon, you are bulky. Okay, we got a crit. I don't know if that mattered, but yeah. Helping Hand, +1 already. Who knows? I'll take the crit. Okay, did you flip trick? Yeah, you did. You tried. Alright. So, yeah, I mean, we got Ursaluna, we got Whimsicott in the back, of course. Not, you know, this is pretty much done. I think what I have to do now is just chip a little bit. What else am I supposed to do? I guess I can kind of click Moongeist Beam. Switch this out. Indeedee Beam here. But yeah, I'll just do it like this. Yeah. You have to kill the Indeedee. You know, you can't get to the Lunala if you can't get to the Indeedee here, right? So, Indeedee Beam comes out. Now we're plus everything. Alright, there's the foul play. Chipping the Indeedee. Taking more Rocky Helmet chip. Doing more damage to itself than it is to me. Okay. Light screen is gone, that's fine. And yeah. Still clicking follow me. Or I actually could have just clicked Helping Hand. Yeah, my mistake. But better safe than sorry. Here we go, Meteor Beam. Let's see how much this does. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye for a gift. Alright, good job. So, we have the Ursaluna ready, but their Pelipper decided to not click Wide Guard. Then what was the point of the Pelipper? You know, just to put pressure on my Whimsicott? Okay, the Calyrex Roaring Moon stuff. It's just the Tang variant, I think it is. Okay. So, we see Amoonguss, of course. Good Expanding Force ideas, but there is a Roaring Moon here. We can click Moongeist Beam a lot. The only problem is we have to set up the Moongeist Beam here. So, how do I want to do this? Ideally, I can bring Indeedee here. I would also love to bring Urshifu here. I think like Urshifu Torkoal stuff is actually like okay. So I'm gonna bring this and this. Then we bring Torkoal and Ursh. And I'll leave the Ursaluna behind. I think this is okay. We'll see what happens with this. If he leads like Amoonguss Calyrex stuff, then alright. Yeah, I could click Expanding Force, but if the Amoonguss tears, then it gets a little tricky. But, you know, lots of different lines depending on what he decides to do. Alright, so instead he's going with the Urshifu Roaring Moon stuff, which I'm fine with. In all honesty, I would love to just pressure this Roaring Moon here. But I do need to click Trick Room, right? Because he kills the Indeedee here, then I can swap and bring in Torkoal, right? And I still need to click the Meteor Beam next turn, ideally, which again gets a little tricky. So if he knocks out the Indeedee, which would not be great, but if he does, and I click Trick Room, then Meteor Beam comes out next turn, and yeah, right. So like it's like I need to click Meteor Beam now, or I can click Expanding Force now and just remove the Urshifu. I could do that too. Lots of ideas that we can consider here, but I think the safest play is to just do the Trick Room idea. Okay, and I want to just Terra and click Follow Me. I think I got it off, right? Yeah, he's going to click this button, right? It's on the Urshifu, actually, which is cool. You really want the Indeedee gone. So there's that idea. Alright, well... Oh, we didn't get off our Terra Water. Come on, man. That's what I wanted. I wanted the Terra Water. Okay. There's the Rocky Helmet chip. Because then, ideally, I could just live these Surging Strikes. But if he was going for this, then okay. Alright, so... at least we had good EVs anyway. So we got to chip the Urshifu. You know, if there was a Sash, there was a Sash no more. And now we get to click Trick Room. Okay, we did not need to Terra. And now, even if the Torkoal does come in, it's gonna like get resisted stuff, so yeah. But we do have a Specs, which is kind of cool. I have expanding force pressure. Okay, Terra Fire is still gonna hurt. And I do outspeed. Okay. If I click E-Force now, right? But it's not gonna matter. It's gonna chip. But it's gonna be like good chip. How do I want to do this? Like if I don't tear the Lunala, I just lose it. I think I have to just do it like this. So we'll go for Moongeist Beam over here. And I think the Roaring Moon just switches out here. I'm still gonna click Eruption. I mean, I don't think there's not a world where I don't click Eruption here. Okay. I don't think he tears anything here at all. Okay. Let's see how he goes. Okay, if he removes my Power Herb, he removes my Power Herb. Oh, he has Protect on that thing, bro. Does he double Protect though? Okay, he double protects. Alright, that's fine. That's like okay. I do need the Urshifu. Okay. Because that Ursh is the more threatening thing to the Torkoal in my opinion. Okay, he could click knockoff on my choice specs if he wants, but you know, then I can just click, you know, Weather Ball and stuff later on. Alright, so I have to just pressure with the Moongeist Beam, and I'm still clicking the Eruption button either way. Okay, if he switches, he switches. I'm still gonna click it again. You know, he might just give me something instead. The Sash has been broken. You know, Roaring Moon doesn't have the best of health here. He did just double protect. We stalled that one turn. Alright, he's just gonna let me do it. Alright, Eruption comes out, does good damage. Okay, Moongeist Beam also into the Urshifu slot. So now the question is, what did you do with this Roaring Moon? Did you hit the Torkoal or did you hit the Lunala here? Right? Would honestly prefer the Lunala. Alright, because then my Torkoal can keep clicking Eruption. Alright, click Knockoff. Alright, so now there goes my specs. So now I can click other things. Right, I can click Meteor Beam too. And then Weather Ball is still like in the game. Alright, there's Landorus. Okay, so there's like another Prime Protect target. Okay, how many turns of TR I got? I still got 2 turns. So if he protects now, he protects now. That'd be funny. But I would love to Meteor Beam this. And I still think Eruption is my best play, but it just is not enough. I would love to KO something. Realistically, there's just like a double protect here, right? I don't think Weather Ball is enough, especially now that my thing is gone. Yeah, I think we just have to do it like this. All right, he's actually just gonna give it to me. All right, the Roaring Moon. This is why okay, yeah, see, there we go. Wait, I could have actually just clicked expand. Well, it wouldn't have killed the other thing. Alright, yeah, there's like more damage here. Alright, now he gets to click that. Okay, but we resist that. Okay. There goes Torkoal. One more turn of Trick Room. Okay. Acrobatics comes out. Lunala lives, which is great news. Okay. So now, here comes Ursh. And now we can click E-Force, and he can't protect against that. One more turn. Okay. Yeah. So now we can just do this. Should have did this into the lander slot here. There's only so much you can really click. I'll just do it like this. He has to pick one. Okay. He's actually just gonna give me both. Alright, so we click this. Alright, that's very interesting. Alright, so goodbye, Landorus. And we should just outspeed this thing. Yeah, yep, here we do. So goodbye, this thing too. Okay, thanks for coming. We get a crit, of course. So now it's a 2-on-1. The Trick Room is gone. So if it's Calyrex, it's cooked. Okay. So good job, Torkoal. Putting on pressure. Your double protects. I feel like you just gotta stagger your protects in that situation, right? That's just my thing. Okay, we have a sash on this Urshifu. We should be like okay here. What is? Yeah. You can't even tear anymore. Okay, so now we just click Moongeist Beam and we click the Wicked Blow button, and that's pretty much it. Okay, here we go. It's gonna give it to us. It's good damage. Okay, and of course we finish things off here with the Moongeist Beam. Yeah, I feel like you just stagger your protection now. But, you know, what could you really swap in? We had tons of pressure. You can't swap in your Calyrex. Torkoal just cleans that. And you can't really swap in your Landers. We just clean that as well. So I guess your double was just your best play. Or at least you go for the double. Yeah. Alright, so that's it. So you got to see the power of Lunala as well as some of its friends over here. Torkoal's really good. You know, when you get it in position. Same with Ursaluna. It can also do the job. Urshifu, when you need it, it'll do the big damage. And then, you know, Lunala and Indeedee, very, very good combination. Indeedee also really good at, you know, Psychic Terrain, bringing out that field advantage. So this way you can stop fake out and priority moves into Lunala potentially. And at the same time, you get to change terrain against like Marida and stuff there. So pretty offensive team that has a Tailwind and a Trick Room mode. So if you need a squad to round out your Reg G content, give this one a go and let us know how you do here. But again, like I mentioned, we have one more team to wrap up our Regulation G content. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for now, folks. We'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.